Yo, what's going on? It's your boy BigDonSkillz, bringing you a video. We got an interesting thing today. I actually wanted to reflect on how I felt about 2019 as a whole, um, mainly within my personal life and addition to streaming. So this video, it's just pretty much gonna be off the top. I have a few points that I kind of wrote down just to keep myself on topic, but man, the rest of this is literally just gonna be off the top of the dome. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing I wrote down was how I felt about the year overall. Um, and I have to say 2019 is definitely one of the best years I've probably had since my adult life. Just probably one of the best years ever. I hit a lot of milestones, a lot of personal milestones that weren't related to streaming. I had started a new job at the beginning of the year, and that job, outside of a few things like having a schedule that's really all over the place and not really going back to school like I want to, it's done really well for me, and it's kind of enabled me to like be more interactive with my streams. It's enabled me to afford the equipment and things that I can to help improve the streams, and so I think that's a nice feeling alone. Yeah, I just had a lot of interesting things in my life. I think 2018 was a pretty rough year for me. I was in a job I didn't like. I didn't like my situation that I was in. And I was just overall I just felt constantly stressed. And I hadn't felt that way in who knows how long. And it just wasn't a feeling I enjoyed. And just to be able to, essentially start the new year off right, meaning 2019 off right, I think really helped with just my situation overall. I know that wasn't really the most detailed thing, but I just want to say, like I said, being in that situation where I had a good job enabled me to be comfortable, within myself and whatever I do. It's just a really nice feeling. So we're getting to point number 2. So this is gonna start jumping into streaming. How I felt about streaming. I guess I can backtrack by saying I felt my year was okay overall. It's very hard to gauge where you should be at, where you think you want to be at, where you want to be at, where you actually are, because with streaming being not an official career per se, being something that's new and that a select few can, really make it on top, I almost think of it as like the NBA or like a professional sport where only the elite make it, and the elite are a very select few of people. If you compare the actual players in, we're just gonna say the NBA, to the people who want to be in NBA, just the players who were in college alone, who may have played Division 1 basketball or whatever, it's very, very small. It's an insanely small percent. And I look at streaming as the same way, to where you have to do it more to be better at it. But at the same time, you need to maximize your time and maximize the effort that you put into it. So I feel like in 2019, the time I maximize in, but I don't think I maximize in utilization. I don't think sometimes I took advantage of my stream, or maybe the direction it was going in, or maybe being too focused on one thing or not sticking to one thing. I think it's just a mixture of things overall. So I think with streaming, a good example is a lot of people who watch me may watch me for Smash Brothers, but as you all may have known, I stopped playing it for a while, and all of a sudden I'm back to playing it. And then I, just like yesterday, I played it, and I raged so bad I couldn't play it anymore. So it's like, dang, why am I streaming something that I keep going back to as if it's like some addicting drug or something? I keep going back to doing this thing, and I realized I don't really enjoy it. I've had to change a lot of rules based around Smash Brothers, the things I do around there, where I don't really care for the community that much, and I don't really see much potential within playing Smash and actually me growing as someone who wants to everybody says content creator, but as a, well, just say content creator, as someone who wants to grow, I just don't really see how Smash can take me to the next level. And that's kind of like where I am now. I'm at this crossroads where, as I mentioned in my previous video that I released at the beginning of the year, I want to start taking risks. I want to start doing things that, of course not everybody's going to like what you do. But I think at this point, in order to really separate myself from everybody else, there's thousands of people who are trying to make it big, who are trying to be the next big YouTuber, who want to be the next, insert streamer name here. And I have a lot of people that I'm, essentially competing with, but I also need to sit back, analyze, and see, what I should be doing to make things better. And like I said, it's very hard for streaming because in comparison to other career fields, if I know I wanted to be, let's say, we're going to say basketball again. I think it's a very easy thing to compare, right? Now, at this point, I'm too old to obviously be in the NBA, but for the sake of a point, if I was younger and I wanted to be a NBA player, first of all, I have to play basketball. I have to know the rules. I have to practice. You have to think of everything. It's not just you going out and playing, 1v1s on the court every day. You got to learn the game. You got to learn the ins and outs. You got to learn plays. You got to learn the different positions. You got to be adaptable. You got to know everything in and out. And I think that's something that needs to be focused more, I think, when it comes to streaming. It's kind of knowing it in and out. A lot of people I talk to, some of my streamer friends or just people in general, sometimes don't know the most simple things about streaming. They literally just kind of turn it on and hope for the best and just think that one day they're going to make it big. And it's like, well, if you actually have some desires to take this somewhere, that's definitely not going to work out for you. But if you are trying to be passionate about something, you definitely have to put forward the effort. And once again, that's something I want to focus more on this year too. I think at times I didn't put forth the effort I wanted to, or I should have, especially for my YouTube, because the YouTube, I think, is personally harder than Twitch. And a lot of times it can be a little bit discouraging because with YouTube, the videos that you think, like your favorite videos, the ones you spent the most time on, or the ones that you really like, or the ones you think are going to gain the most traction, are the ones that do the worst. And it can hurt you sometimes. You're like, dude, like, why did more people not watch this, And it sucks, but it's just something you have to acknowledge that, you're usually your biggest critic, I think is the term. Like, you're going to be more down on yourself. You're going to be harder on yourself. Like, dang, I should have done this, or I shouldn't do this, or, you're always going to be more negative towards yourself a lot of times. And so it always helps when you get feedback from the right people. Sometimes, I'll caveat with that by saying every piece of feedback isn't good feedback. And I think if you have an open mind, you're usually able to determine that what's good feedback as opposed to, what's just someone talking shit, So, yeah, that's it with the whole streaming thing. Next is comparing myself to others. I put on there. I had a step 3, but I already kind of talked about it as far as seeing growth and immediate results. But comparing myself to others, this is something I don't really have a problem with. But this is something I kind of did in the past to kind of gauge, what I should be like. And like I said, with streaming, you can't really do that because a lot of these people you may be comparing yourself to, let's say I'm comparing myself to Ninja, right? There's a lot of factors that like Ninja has that I don't have. And I also think there's things that I have that he doesn't have. But for me to sit here and say like, damn, I think I'm a better, I think I have a better personality than, a good example, Shroud, for example. When I watched Shroud stream the other day, just to really kind of gauge, what do people really like about this guy? And to me, the stream was so mellow it was almost something I could like and this is no offense to his stream, but it was so like mellow and kind of boring that like it's something you play when you're just laying down about to fall asleep. Kind of like, you know, Animal Planet or Discovery Channel where, you know, you're playing it and you may just fall asleep to it. But like, that isn't for me to compare myself to, because yes, I think I have more personality than Shroud, but Shroud is also a way better gamer when it comes to shooters than me. So you see, there's things that someone's gonna have that you don't, and vice versa, you know. I think I have a great personality, but also I don't tolerate shit talking and people being disrespectful on my streams. So, you know, I handle things different than certain people. And I think comparing yourself can be done in a good way, but you can also play yourself by comparing yourself to people that aren't like you, you know. Everybody's career path is different. You can be dope, but man, sometimes things just don't work out in your favor. And then finding your middle ground. Yeah, I think going forward, and this is for streaming and YouTube. I mentioned before in my previous video that YouTube is gonna be like experimental. Like, I'm just gonna play around. I'm gonna test things out. I'm gonna make videos that I'm interested in, and also pay attention to what people watch. And, you know, maybe even try and focus more on that. It's very hard. Until I find the BigDon niche, you know, I won't really know what content to make. You know what I mean? Until I start seeing results. And once I see results, I can piggyback off that wave, you know, and that's kind of my goal with YouTube. Do something until it works. And I take suggestions, and some people have given me good suggestions and feedback of videos they want. But, you know, that's one thing I always say, I take suggestions. Now for Twitch is a totally different story, because promotion on Twitch is very difficult unless you're in a game that has a decent amount of viewership, but then you can still have yourself get noticed, because Twitch naturally sorts people by who's got the most viewers to the least viewers. So if you got 2 viewers in your stream, you're probably going to be really, really far down on the list if you're playing some game maybe like League of Legends, which everybody plays, or like Fortnite, or, you know, Call of Duty, these popular games, you know. So I'm trying to find that middle ground of like, what do I want to play? And that's some advice I've gotten from people. Shout out to the homie Eunuch. I hope Eunuch watches this video. I think he will. But shout out to Eunuch, who mentioned as far as like this year, like, dude, focus on the things that you like. Like, if you like it, try it out. If you're not feeling it, don't play yourself like that. Yeah, I've had some other streamers tell me the same thing. Like, you definitely got to play what you like. And that's something I have to kind of get into my head too, because at the same time, I do want to play what I like, but there's also things that I still have to have that middle ground to where I can grow off of it. You know, where I see a potential. Maybe I have a niche within that, or a path, or an avenue from that. So, moving forward, I've already said this about Smash. It's like being a hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite where I keep saying I'm not going to do something and I keep doing it. But once again, man, Smash is just something I want to put on a back burner and eventually just phase out, because the game just kind of, I don't like the community around the game. I don't like the people. I don't like a lot of the viewership that I get from Smash Brothers, because it's people who just literally want to play the game, and the second you're not playing with them, they just leave. So they're not even helping your channel grow. They're just in there for their own personal causes. And I want to be a streamer or a content creator where you come to my streams because you like me. And whether that's when I do a funny cooking stream, which shout out to everybody who jumped in the cooking stream. Both cooking streams had a really nice turnout. But, you know, whether it's for me doing a cooking stream, me playing freaking Pokemon, or me playing, I don't know, Star Wars, Digimon, whatever the case is, Fire Emblem, all these games that I need to finish. But all right, I gotta cut this video off. It's already about to hit 15 minutes, dude. This is essentially me just talking. This is not edited. I'm literally just gonna edit some music under this video, man. But that is it for this, man. I hope you all really understood where I'm coming from. And I'm so looking forward to this year in particular, man, because it's going to be exciting for me as I literally try and figure out myself within streaming. And I have a lot of big things that I had planned for the year. So, man, I hope you all enjoyed it. Man, leave a comment section below on just how you think of everything overall, just the Big Don experience, and maybe even some of your goals for the year. It doesn't even have to be streaming related. I want to hear what some of you all have in mind for the year. So, yeah, man, that's all I really got to say. It's a long-winded video, but I hope you all stayed and just had to listen to me, man. But once again, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Thank you all so much. As always, like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel as always. And check out my Twitch, man. My Twitch is amazing. Everything is in the description section below. I'll talk to y'all later, y'all. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day. And deuces.